YouTube, what a huge boy out here, and I have not made a video in a little bit now. I have not been trading very much. Not any good trades, that is, or even seeing any good trades this month, but the last few days have actually been pretty decent. So I'm going to go over today's strategy. I say strategy, oh my goodness. Today's trade, and just go over what I use for my strategy and show you guys pretty much what happened today. Today I made $1,000 on each account I have, so today was a great day. Again, like one thing I've really been practicing and really trying to just, learn is walking away while we're still in profit, and being able to take profit while you're in profit, okay? I've talked about this on this channel a lot, and it's very important, man. It really is, because a lot of people try to go in and get these, millions of dollars, or, I gotta make a $5,000 trade. You don't have to do that, man. It all adds up, and I know there's someone out here that needs to hear that, right? We're going into this to retire our families. I don't know what the heck happened here. There we go. Oh no, we need to reset this thing, hold up. But we're going in here to retire our families, we're going in here to, be the best men we can be, right? So how, you can't go in and think that you're gonna be making $45,000 a day or a week in the first time you start trading, man. It's gonna take time, I just really want to pinpoint that, okay? So overall, let's look at pretty much, today is Monday, December 15th. We obviously know that this was a big day. I made some good money, actually on Friday. I don't remember how much I made, so I'm not gonna tell you guys. I really don't know. I don't remember. It was in the thousands though. But overall, let's go into today's, right? So today started off green. We were on a, going up to a new high, right? Not new high as far as like forever. I'm saying in general of the day. We were green. We were bullish. And I'm sitting here thinking about it, like this drop from yesterday. I had this fair value gap set from the other day. The other day from whenever this was, November 26th, whatever this is, 25th. I had this fair value cap set from that period. And I knew that this move was not done yet. So I actually was very careful and watched pretty much what happened. It's why I always tell you guys, God gave me a really good strategy, man, with a 15-minute orb. I highly recommend every single one of you do it. It's what changed the game for me. And I feel like I've gotten sidetracked in my own journey occasionally here, and going and doing it my own way instead of God's way, man. And God's way to me is patience. God's way to me is, hey, just watching where the market's going, using my 15-minute orb strategy, trusting my rules, trusting what's happening, and understanding that if something goes wrong, it's not our fault. It is what it is. You're going to go in, you're going to lose sometimes, and it's just part of the game, man. It really is. It's hard, but with God, we can do all things, right? And I always want to start off a Bible verse, man. Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through which Christ strengthens us, okay? So we can do this. Don't give up. Keep pushing forwards. I know at times it makes you want to give up, especially when you're just starting this, and it's difficult, man. Trading is very difficult, and that's why I try to give you guys a strategy that works majority of the time, and it's gonna, as long as you keep discipline to it, write your own notes, write your own journal down, showing like what you can learn from, when maybe you guys should wait a few more minutes to trade, whatever it might be for you, right? And just really trust that God has a plan for this, man. It's not easy, but it will retire your whole family, your own bloodline, if you keep going, and it's not gonna be a year thing. It's gonna be a 4 or 5 year thing. It's gonna be a 10-year thing for some of you guys. Some of you go get it a little sooner on. That's all right, but I'm hoping I can help you guys get it a little sooner on. I'm still learning, man. Every day I'm still learning. The market's consistently adapting, consistently changing, right? So we have to continue to consistently adapt to the market, and that's something you guys got to realize, right? It's not always going to be accurate. There's going to be things that are going to influence, like the world, the economy, news, whatever it might be, and that's why I just try to encourage every single one of you to do it through God, because God will never fail you. Even if you lose a million times, God's plan will always outbeat ours, right? So God first. So let's go over the strategy. So we have a high right here of the 15-minute candle, a low of the 15-minute candle. We start at 9:30 a.m. I trade mainly 9:30, like I tell you guys all the time. Let's get into pretty much what happens. So we see a closure on the 5-minute right here. I don't know what the hell's going on with my voice today. Sorry about that. But yeah, we have a 5-minute closure right here. I actually entered it in right here, and I took this thing for a loop all the way down. This move right here did scare me a little bit, but I knew deep down, like, this move's not done yet. We already I knew we were heading down to this gap at some point, so I just trusted God with this, man. That's the whole point of this video, right? We have to trust God and know that, hey, if we're going in right here, we waited our 2 or 3 to 4 minutes into this second candle right here after the 5-minute closure. We're still red. We have to just trust it, right? We have to just trust God. Okay, well, I'm gonna put my stop loss, wherever it is, even if it's right here, maybe going in with MNQ, going with a little bit less contracts, right? And I've encouraged that in the last few videos here, going in with 4 or 5 MNQ micro contracts versus going in with, one full one. It's just not even worth it, when you're trying to get funded. It's just, it is to some degree where it's faster, but when you're losing, you also lose faster, and like that's just something I know a lot of people need to learn from, right? I need to learn from it too. We all do, man. You know, it's a tough journey, man. You know, it really is. And I just hope I can encourage some of you guys to keep going, right? But yeah, today was perfect, man. We didn't really have much momentum other than this one right here. You know, again, this one definitely freaked me out a little bit, but overall, you know, if you had entered at this top candle, it didn't even go into a negative for the day, right? Even at this point, if you had entered in right here, you know, we saw this 5-minute closure. If you entered in this zone, you know, with the 2 or 3 minutes into this zone, which is what I encourage, right? Waiting 2, 3, 4 minutes just to make sure it's still red into that after the closure, right? So once the 5-minute closes, right here on this candle, which was at 10 o'clock, we'd be waiting 3, 4 minutes into it to kind of see what happens. If you still saw it was red, let's just say you even entered right here. You would have went into the negative a little bit, but you wouldn't have gotten stomped out. You know what I mean? It wouldn't, unless you had some crazy contracts in there, which yeah, you would have been stomped out. But overall, even if you entered in right here and you got out down here, think about that amount of money you would have made, you know what I mean? Just holding, you know, and just seeing, well, hey, I'm gonna put $1,000 take profit. You could have gotten 1,000. You probably could have gotten 2. You know, it's a good strategy, man. It really works, you know, and I encourage every single one of you to try. You know, I'm not telling you guys to try. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not someone you should be listening to by any means, but I can tell you this is what God has showed me for a strategy, and I just hope and encourages you guys to try. You know, use your fake money, use your demo accounts at first, you know, consistently build as time goes. You know, obviously funded accounts are way better than using your own money. I can tell you that straight off the bat. I use my funded futures, which you guys can see right here. I also use Top Step X. I'm actually going to be learning Tradeify. That's something I'm going to be starting as well. So that's another thing that I'm going to be starting, Tradeify, to see if I like that one. But overall, my favorite ones are my funded futures and Top Step X. I've blown accounts, bro. I've done a million things in this market. I ain't gonna lie to you. I've done a million things. I'm not a perfect trader. I never ever said I will be. No one is, in fact. You know, it takes time. It takes patience. It takes perseverance. Never giving up, man. Never giving up. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna keep going until the good Lord takes me home. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep going. I can do all things through which Christ strengthens me, and I know that in some way and somehow we're all gonna make it. I believe that from the bottom of my heart. If God showed you this vision, man, continue to show up. Continue to show God that we can do this through Him, and you know, it's not going to be easy, but I can tell you one thing, man, it will be well worth it when we're making $25,000 a month every single month, $50,000 a month every single month, helping people, changing and encouraging other people's lives, right? And like that's the whole point of being here and being a disciple, right? Is just, I don't know, just spreading, not only spreading the gospel, man, but just spreading what I'm learning in my everyday life. And sorry for not uploading as much anymore. I know January we'll kick it out with some really, really good videos because I think the market will be hopefully a little bit better than this. But today, again, this last few days have actually been pretty decent in the market, so I can't say anything. But I love you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video, man.